Just going to head to the shop. Before I do head out to the shop, just want to mention something. How to switch off a narcissist. You show them precisely who they are. To some degree, Cheshire has shown Erin who she is, and that's why she hates Chesh. But there's other levels, and there's different ways to show them who they are than what I've done. I want to get into that at some point in the future, in some months' time. But what I've done, a lot of people don't have time and energy for anyway. I barely have time and energy for to read the body language that is in cue with what she's saying, and the cues are in line with disingenuous attitude when you read those body language cues and lies and so on, of course. But her arguments are always weak anyway. But she attacks those others and don't necessarily directly point out those other variables about have that template looking up to what was it? Looking up to the right. Constructing an image, looking directly right, constructing audio, looking directly left, remembering audio on all these cues, but also the cues of looking down after saying something, or something more aggressive, an accusation, and then the only time she looks into the camera at the end of the statement, but she doesn't look into the camera half as much as I have already during a whole hour and 12 minutes. She didn't, except for those very brief moments. So that's very disingenuous. You know, if you was talking to somebody in person like that without the eye contact, you'd think, well, they seem a bit dishonest. Yeah. I'm pointing all that out. When you show a narcissist exactly who they are, their arguments fall apart anyway, but they tend not to. And look how many videos I put out. And this is the best she could do, was analyze this, Jack, and it was so... it's all mind-blowingly weak, but that was one of the weakest of the week videos that she's put out. Also, I've done other videos on her body language, but I've done a silly music mix track, Erin's Nightmare, just to take the piss out of her. It wasn't to support her. But then she comments underneath that. It's like, this is fucking awesome. And I deliberately didn't respond to that. But I think generally, because of I don't want this to sound like I'm boasting and saying other people's takes on this is like not good enough, because it is good enough, because you are pointing out the errors of her ways, how stupid she is, how backward she is, and that needs to be pointed out. But again, what I've pointed out as well points out how stupid she is, and it shows her who she really is. And it also, because of that, it shows her that she can't fool everyone into thinking that she's who she wants to fool you into thinking she is. Hope that sounds convoluted. Just rewind and listen to it again. Because, a narcissist pretends to be somebody they're not, basically. And they hate themselves, So the word narcissist comes from, was it a Greek myth? Narcissus? Or I can't quite remember the story behind it. About an individual who fell in love with a reflection, but what they really do is fall in love with a fake, false fantasy of who they want to be. But hard work brings results, right? Wishing doesn't give you anything. So they wish that people would just buy their bullshit. And then the hard work they do, though, is try harder with the bullshit. And it's never going to work for anyone, is it? Including themselves. But another point to be made there is anybody who's in their chat is like, oh, sorry, I had to go through this, Aaron. Do you know anything about what's really going on in critical analysis of step by step and your analysis backing itself up with another step and so on and so on? Or is it only emotional? Because a narcissist would always pull those emotional strings every single time to manipulate you to feel sorry for them. Every time. So what are you doing? You're interacting with Erin, thinking that, oh, it's so sad she's going through this and she needs support and all this. Does she really? Do you really know what's going on? Half the people in our own chat don't know what's going on. They even said, who's the petitioner? I think you should know by now. You know, this is mind-blowingly backward. But because it's only emotion ever been used, it's all Donald Trump has ever done is use smear campaigning, emotional talk, to, they're doing this, they that, and he's never the problem. Same with Aaron. It's like they were always point the finger. It's like, oh, Cheshire's fault, Manya's fault. No, it's a judge fault, a court of law fault, or these things are separate from me. It's what they were doing, throwing out everyone on the bus, throwing Vader, Nikki, Megan, and others. Renal, I don't know, they're all in cahoots with each other. I'm not sure Renal was directly involved, but you get the idea, right? It's throwing them all under the bus because they're not important. She does not have friends. What she has is tools of emotional manipulation to control you. But you think, oh, it's so sad she's going through this, I need to support her. Do you know what's going on? We'll support her with what? Her claim of what? Precisely. Specifically. I pointed out, particularly around screenshots, what that's all about. Many people, if you have the time and energy to see it, have pointed out every single step of the way that she just blurts out garbage, and then she tries to patch up the damage in damage control of the last garbage she's come out with more garbage, and people point the errors of those ways, and people say no, that's wrong, and she does it again and again and again. There's nothing she's ever said that holds any credibility, consistency with itself. It's not consistently, there's no logic whatsoever. It's only emotion. The problem with human nature, though, is, including myself, we're all prone to it, is we are emotional first before we're critical thinking second. So, a number of times, especially this time of year, I get really bitchy and nasty, and I cannot stand the winter. I don't function at my optimal best in the winter. I need whatever my brain does via natural light, natural sunlight, and the amount of natural sunlight during the winter days in the UK are very, very diminished. And this longitude and latitude around the globe, not the best. So roll on the 21st of December, because I think that's the shortest daylight hours. So after that it gets longer, so I'll be looking forward to the days sort of spreading out. It's still 24 hours, yeah, but the daylight spreading out. I do want to get back into some videos for the ecosystem, the vase. Plants are doing relatively okay at the moment, but we had some plants die. I'm going to retry Monte Carlo as a plant. It's maybe I might do. Or scrap it because some of the other plants are doing okay. You can see me talking about it, looking over body language, then referring to it. Body language is real. I get a new knee-jerk response to people who go, oh, body language is all a myth. right, if you went into a public bar and someone's in the corner going like that, not socializing with anyone, like, and rocking maybe like this, you think, oh, are you okay? But no, it's just a person at a bar, right? And buying drinks. I think it's incredibly backward to say body language is a myth, but there's so many layers that we're not too well learnt on as the average citizen. So we look for experts to teach us those things. And I'm not an expert, but I bought the books from information that share information who are the experts and so on, and there's a whole science to it, right? Anyway, is the vase at the moment. This plant's doing okay in there. The water's a little bit murky at the moment. Good. That's because I've been in there moving some stuff around. That might settle. There's snails proliferating in there. There's no shrimp yet. My educated guess it'd be February, but the shrimp will probably go in. That is the main stars of the show type of shrimp, because there's been other things that are part of the shrimp family that are kind of more microscopic actually in there. And there's a few other tiny dots that might be swimming around, known as copepods. They help clean the water and waste and so on. There will be waste because we got snails pooping after eating biofilm and algae and so on. But yeah, this is pretty at the moment. And not so much of this bit, that's where the Monte Carlo was and it all died. And else that could be cloud in the water, but it doesn't matter. This is an experiment, and each step of the way I wanted to share, and I will be putting out more videos. The more plants I have in there, the more likelihood the water will clear. That is a thing, because it's breaking down the nutrients. Sometimes cloudy water is a bacterial bloom, but even plants will feed on the nutrients that are feeding those bacteria, so it helps clear the water as well. It is possible to do this without a filter, because your plants, the substrate, the rocks and everything else is your filter. And is it just get the whole cycle going, right? So, yeah, that's that in a nutshell. Annoying, isn't it, Erin? I noticed your last two videos, you weren't on camera. I wonder why that is. Is it because somebody out there is educating people of who you really are? A lying, disingenuous, disgusting bitch? Thanks for watching. Take care. I'm off to the shop. Get some shopping. Get some nice goodies. Maybe a bag of popcorn might come in handy, because you can never have too much of that, right? All this bullshit going on. Right? Cheers. Bye.